everybody, it's Kevin Johnson, managing editor for NoTreble.com. I'm happy to be here at Wolf Trap in beautiful Virginia with Robin Mullarkey, who's on tour right now with Jacob Collier. And we're here to do a bass breakdown. We're gonna check out all the gear he's got on the road for this gig. And Robin, thank you for taking the time.
No problem.
I'm already attracted to the pedal board over here, but let's start with your basses. Could we talk
about
what
sure.
you got running here?
Wow, it's never been as stripped back as it is, to be honest. But this is a recent touring beast, which I've made an absolute mess of. But we went to Asia earlier this year and got into the stickers a little bit. And but underneath all this stuff is it's a Fender Ultra 2 Jazz, which is like the latest model that Fender made. I don't know about you, but like I keep coming back and checking the Fender models, and it's never quite been right. Sometimes I've just been more leaning towards the Japanese copies and things, you know, they seem to have the features and stuff. But I think honestly this time they kind of got it right with all the electronics, and like feels really great. It's like the neck is lovely. The electronics was the big thing, because quite often they were doing, boost only EQ and things like that. And I'm more of a guy that wants to be trimming off the top end and things like that. So that always kind of bugged me. But now it's cool. You've got like a passive tone pot on there, which is amazing, and some active bass treble and mid. And it sounds sick. Sounds like a Fender. So it's like the last tour I was actually playing a Music Man Stingray, whatever it's called, the posh one, like the super duper one, but with two pickups. Okay. And that was working really well. It's like half the weight of this thing actually, and I was really enjoying that, but just slightly missing the Fender growl thing when you kind of go between the frets and you get that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I got that back, and that's. Feels good.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So usually I would have 3 or 4 basses back here, but we're traveling all over, traveling light, and it's pretty much this guy.
You also have this Fender Six back here, which some people, I don't understand the hate because it's bass is in the name, but what kind of stuff are you using this for?
It's just become part of the rig. I mean, I used to use it on like 4 or 5 tunes in the show, and then it just turns out the show has really switched up a lot, and I don't have as much need for it anymore. And also Ben Jones has joined us on guitar. We didn't have like a dedicated guitarist until really just the last year. So it's kind of there's less high-pitched stuff needed from me, and everything's just locked in over there. But I mean, apart from filling in guitar parts where Jacob plays bass, which was like a big part of the concept, really. Do you know what I mean? He likes to play bass on 3 or 4 tunes, and then I could just switch to guitar. And if we switch in the chorus, we go back to bass. You basically got a short scale bass. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because this is the bottom 4 strings are tuned to a bass. It's a guitar down an octave. Mm-hmm. So it's a short scale bass, but with the option to make guitar-y tones, and you get all these kind of, because it's basically like a Jaguar, right? And you get all these kind of out of phase pickup sounds that you wouldn't normally get from a bass guitar, honestly. And I love those vintage short scale sounds. So really I just brought it in case that stuff comes up. But you won't hear a lot of that tonight, just a few little bits.
Is it pretty set as to like what you're using for each song, or you have, how much freedom do you have to kind of improv with your sound?
With the sound?
Yeah, or with the instrument and
with what I play it's actually pretty open. I mean, that's the fun thing about this gig. I mean, I think I would only ever do gigs where I was able to do my thing from night to night. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, the forms of the songs are very rigid in terms of it goes verse, chorus, verse, bridge. But within that, I think everyone is just open to just play and like make it interesting every night, and I don't think anyone wants to hear the record exactly when you come to a gig. So it's like, let's just vibe off the reaction from the audience and see where it goes. And there's certain parts of the gig that are completely improvised, which I think is really unusual, especially, when you get into like larger audiences and stuff to see that, we're playing like festivals with pop acts and stuff. and there'll be segments of the song where it just will be like stops, and it's like whoever starts anything first, that's where we're going. You'll see tonight. There's a few spots, but we just have to aim for in 4 or 5 minutes. We need to be in C minor and 7/4 at 148 BPM, and it's just a little bit of fun every night.
That's an easy
to
target, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's that side of it that just keeps it really fresh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
that
good.
sounds like a lot of fun. And it's. I would think, especially Jacob's fans probably want to see the live energy.
Yeah.
But just thinking about improv we're in an amphitheater here.
Yeah.
And in kind of a large room is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another point. I'm not seeing any wedges, so I guess you're doing in-ears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you got going there?
I've got my Cosmic ears, which are not right here. It's like a British brand of ears. They're really great. I've been using them for a long time. So yeah, everybody on the band is on ears, and that is the reason. The only way to get a great grand piano sound with mics is if there isn't tons of bass rolling around the stage. You know? And I've seen the evidence. Like our sound guy Jose is the best, and he gets like a really clear piano sound.
Yeah.
And whenever we've tried to use electronic pianos on festivals and stuff, it just doesn't. Jacob just can't get it to do the same thing. It's just never as dynamic and as bright, and he gets inside, he'll be muting the strings and stuff.
Right.
It's a really important part of the show, so we just do our best to keep the volume down. There's no guitar.
Yeah.
It's like, there's pros and cons. I don't know if you've ever really done it. Have you worked with ears?
Yeah, actually I played in a bluegrass band called the Plate Scrapers, and we just switched to ears a couple years ago, and I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if someone, it's all bluegrass instruments, so it gets a little dicey.
Right.
And we got the thing where each guy's like, can I have a little more? No, wait, a little less, a little more.
You don't do the thing of just all standing around one mic.
Oh my God, no, we have, but anyways, that's a whole other story.
Well, I mean, you take out a lot of the variables, don't you? Because which actually for bass is super useful sometimes. It's going to sound the same from night to night instead of having all these weird resonances and sub-frequencies coming back. You just I know what my tone is going to the front of house every night, and he just has to deal with whatever changes. Do you know what I mean? So it's good, but sometimes I miss. And also in Europe I had a baseboard, and for some reason I've never succeeded in finding one in the States. Just like rental companies don't come through. It's been the same the last 3 tours, In Europe I get a baseboard,
The baseboard being the
vibrating
like
thing,
the rumble kind of thing.
Yeah, the Ike baseboard is what I've been using, so it really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I miss it. So it's almost like when it's not there, you have to turn the bass up in your mix because you don't feel it so much. But miss that. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we just went and saw Foreigner the other night, and they have full-blown monitors and everything.
Right.
So that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Now let's move down to your pedal board here, which it's got all the flashing lights, everything crammed on so nicely. So I see you've got a Line 6 HX Stomp XL.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your? Tell me, why don't you give me a rundown of the signal path?
Okay, sure, yeah. Well, this is the beginning, so it's just the Layla 3 input. Just to switch between, and sometimes we'll have a third instrument, but at the moment it's just 2. That's the Fender, and this is the Bass 6. And actually my tech made up a MIDI thing so we can switch.
Oh, nice.
You can switch the patches from here. So that's taking a MIDI input, and you can go between. So when I change a preset here, the whole signal path changes a little bit. But basically we start there, and that's not doing a lot. Straight into the capo, which is controversial. Some people would say you want it at the end, and then you can take the XLR out. But also because I'm doing some guitar-y tones, sometimes they're stereo, and it doesn't work having this at the end. So this is at the front of the chain, just giving some tone and like a little bit of bass boost, little tiny bit of, I wouldn't even call it drive, but just like some harmonic information. Do you know what I mean? That sounds a bit more like an amp and fills out the mix. Into the Cali 76, that's the latest version with the metering on it that you're probably familiar with. But that's just tickling really through the whole show. I don't change anything there. So that's basically my tone. It sounds good. If you took it out there, it would sound good. But then it comes into here, and pretty much for this tour, I've kind of made it so that all the blocks are pretty much in one preset. I used to make a preset for every song, but now it's pretty much like bass JC. Got my octaver there, which actually kicks in a loop with the external octaver. This is a British company. Sounds a lot like an OC2. And this is set to 100% wet, but within the block I can choose whether it's mixed 100% or 55, so without touching the pedal. I've got my octaver, I've got like some drive, bit of filter, and actually getting into the snapshots. I don't know how familiar you are with the HX. Yeah. So there's different ways you can do it. You can go between presets like this. So these are dedicated buttons for the presets. So some of them are really quite radically different sounds if I'm playing guitar parts. But within here, I've made some snapshots that just send a bunch of information to this one preset in the HX. It's just a workflow that seems to work for this show. We put the set together and then I work out what is the best way to deal with it every time, and this is working nice. So yeah, there's my basic clean preset. That's like a drive sound that we start the show with. This is for a tune that we're not playing today, but it's like a super filtered down tone. And all it's doing is just changing parameters within that preset.
So slick.
It's kind of slick, yeah. It's kind of pretty simple, But this is the heart of the setup. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's it. Yeah.
That's enough. I
sometimes pitch up actually, which is good at. So this is always available to pitch things up.
Yeah.
And I can do like wacky effects on that, or sometimes I even just play a little guitar part on the bass and just pitch it up. Sounds fine in the mix. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything I need to do is right under my feet.
Is this like your smaller board for you?
Oh yeah, I don't have a bigger board.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a ton of stuff at home that I'd love to, expand it, but it's probably for the best not to put some of those things on there. Yeah. Those are just for getting creative in the studio, I think. There's some synth stuff as well, and I used to always be an advocate for having hard synths on stage, like genuine analog synths that I could control all the parameters, but I had a couple of things last tour where it just got fried. There was a spike in the power and I lost like some very expensive synths. So now I'm controlling, like I wrote all the patches and they run from a laptop off stage.
Okay.
And I just send MIDI and it's all safe, And
You've released Bring Your Own Ball and the album Black Swan. Tell us, when is that coming out?
October 30th.
Check notreble.com for details on that. But what else can fans kind of expect from that album?
It's pretty varied. Like if anyone's familiar with my brotherly albums that I made 8 years ago or something, there's some of that kind of really intricate muso kind, but like almost, there's actually not much vocals on this track, but it's kind of song-based beats, stuff that's kind of easy to get down with, but behind the scenes there's a lot going on kind of thing. That was always like my objective. But yeah, I tried to put a few things in there that are just jams because like I've got the greatest band in the world, and Richard Spaven is on drums, David Kumu is an amazing guitarist and producer, Tom Corley on keys, Graham Blevins on wind and reeds. And there's some where I just like wrote a 4-bar little melody. Bring On Ball is just like, it's just a melody, and we like taught it to them in the studio and like, let's just do our thing, let's just play it. And I think it was the first take. We just recorded the first take and just all the breakdowns, all the things just flowed naturally, and kind of we made a piece of music out of it. And that's what I wanted it to be, really, So yeah, success.
Yeah,
Great success.
It came off awesome. And like I wrote in the article, it's like a perfect summer jam.
Yeah, so exactly. I really wanted it to be out in the summer.
Yeah, you gotta be riding with your top down.
Yeah. And that's available to pre-order now on Bandcamp.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got vinyl. Got heavyweight vinyl if you're into that, or you can pre-order the digital ready to go.
Yes, sir. We'll put a link to that.
Thanks so
below.
much. Yeah.
Cool. Robin, thank you so much, man. I
Nice
appreciate
one.
your time.
Yeah, you too.
Have a great tour.
All right.
And we'll catch up with you soon. Again,
Great.
Kevin Johnson from NoTreble.com here with Robin Mullarkey at Wolf Trap with Jacob Collier.